What is your initial assessments? What is the significance of this agreement that was reached in Buenos Aires between the two presidents?
I think it's a great achievement. Actually, for the last 6-8 months, we've been seeing the escalating of the tension between China and the U.S. Now we are at a plateau probably, and we're seeing de-escalating. I think the head of the state diplomacy really is working here. So President Xi and President Trump has a personal good relations, and then they have set the tunes for the next several months to really calm down the situation, and then I think the working team from both governments will come up with concrete proposals and then trying to resolve those differences. Of course, I think friction may still be there and here, but in the long run, I think that China and the U.S. cannot be decoupled, and really the two economies are so much intertwined, interconnected. So I think this meeting is really send a huge signal to the business community, to both society and the rest of the world, that China and U.S. got to work together and got to solve their differences.
Well, just focusing on the short to medium term, you've got that 90-day period, and there's a number of pretty significant structural issues that the US have said they want the Chinese to work on and come up with solutions by the end of that 90 days if they're going to continue to hold off on those additional tariffs, whether that's intellectual property or forced tech transfer or non-tariff barriers. A number of issues, of course, they've been talking about for a long time. So what concrete issues, how much concrete movement can China's officials make within that time frame, do you think?
Well, personally, I think that I think on the deficit reduction, there's already some agreement in the past, which has been quite impressive, and I think that is probably because each side can buy more and also do more trade. That's another problem. I think that can be probably relatively easy. I think as far as the structural issues that the meeting is talking about, I think there could be 2 or 3 approaches because. I think that, for example, U.S. and China used to talk about the BIT, in the last administration. A lot of issues are probably similar issues. So why can't we continue that talks and maybe conclude that BIT talks? So that'd be really a great move ahead. Mm. And also the other thing I can say is that U.S. is having FTA with NAFTA, with Japan, with EU. Maybe we should consider FTA as well. I mean, China, U.S. could be. In the long run, we should maybe even have an FTA agreement on that. And also finally, I think there's a multilateral approach is also important. I mean, WTO reform, which is I think agreement agreed at this G20 summit. All the countries has been very supportive. China is also supportive. So the WTO reform should probably reflect some new situation as well. So I think that in general, everybody is in the same direction. I think some of it may take a bit longer time, but at least I think we are seeing a trend as going de-escalating the trade tensions, and this could be really a good direction to follow. And also finally, I think that we also have the regional agreements as well, like TPP. I mean, China could also probably participate in the TPP as well. I mean, it's already agreed on the higher level of the service of the trade. So if China can be part of a TPP, that's also solve a lot of issues as well. So that's our think tank position. I think we can look into that as well.
You obviously have the ear of the Chinese government. Is there any sense that you're getting from them that they are willing to enact further measures and policies to open up other sectors of the economy?
Well, I think that's quite obvious. This year is the 40 years anniversary of opening up. I mean, 40 years ago, that Deng Xiaoping has opened up by allowing special economic zones, by allowing JVs, allowing foreign multinationals to come in. And President Xi actually stressed at the Boao Forum and also Shanghai Expo that now we are at another cycle of 40 years, starting a much higher level of opening up. I think we are having another opening up celebration this month, actually, mid-time this month. So I'm expecting that we are going to have a much higher level of opening up again and sending a signal to the world. China is still welcoming foreign investment. China still wants to safeguard free trade liberalization and facilitate the free trade as well. So I think that is still become already a party line. It's already become a new consensus in China. So I think that this next 40 years, we should expect much more open, much higher level of opening up of China. So this is without doubt. I think that that will be really China already on its own this year. We have done already quite a lot, lowering half of the auto tariff and many other areas. So I'm sure that there will be more opening up coming up.
the Made in China 2025 strategy has obviously become a bugbear for many in Washington. Are you seeing any willingness amongst officials here to open that up to, for example, US companies, foreign companies, to have greater involvement in that strategy?
Well, I think, first of all, I think China 2025 was still a blueprint at the Ministry of Industry and Technology. I mean, still a visionary thinking going on. I mean, even Chinese government have actually also said that, but it's not like a 13 years, 5 years plan. It was not cast in stone. It was not really allocated budget or really have a big goals to achieve, match that, implemented. So I think it's still in the talking stage. So now we have some concerns from our friends. I think, Premier Li has actually said again that even 2025, welcome foreigners participate. Chinese company in China, foreign companies in China should be treated as a Chinese company and should be able to participate. So I don't see a big, difficult there. I think that there could be adjustment made, but China 2025 should be a welcoming plan for all parties to participate and to really, to upgrade China technology. I mean, every country wants to do that. I mean, that's very natural, and that doesn't mean they're going to exclude foreign companies. So I don't think there's quite a bit of understanding there, and I think now they're trying to sort through that.
Part of the pushback against the Chinese, of course, in terms of its technology ambitions in particular, has come from those policymakers in the US and in Europe in terms of further restrictions on Chinese investment in those jurisdictions. What impact is that having on Chinese businesses? You've just released a report on this. What are you hearing?
No, that's right. We are released a report on the Chinese company going global, globalization of Chinese enterprises. Actually, we found that the Chinese investment to the U.S. has sharply decreased, and same is true from U.S. to China. So this is not really good. I mean, when two largest economies not doing trade, not doing investment together, particularly investment and other service trade, and also movement of the goods and people and the service, that is going to be bad for the rest of the world. So I think that from our report, we found that those restrictions like safest review and also that tightening the security concerns are really bad moves, actually. So we are actually, the more we open, the more we intertwine, the more safe we are. On the contrary, if we are really separate each other, we restrict each other, then we're much more in the danger. So that's really our report.